From Los Angeles to Washington, reunions and freedom as Chinese travelers arrive in the U.S.
Huge relief for me, yeah.
This woman, called Jenna, is only comfortable sharing her first name. It's not uncommon among Chinese citizens who speak to the media, as they fear consequences from the Chinese government. She is here to welcome her sister, Nina, who just arrived from China. Nina also uses only her first name.
I want to enjoy my stay and and saw the little baby.
Jenna arrived in November. Being pregnant at the time, she didn't know what to expect in the U.S. because all she experienced during the pandemic was China's strict zero-COVID policy of lengthy lockdowns and frequent testing.
After I arrived here in the States, it's my first time to go outside without wearing mask. Because the population here in the airport is pretty high, so I'm wearing mask now. But I get to exposed to fresh air in the States, the first time in 3 years.
These are some of the first Chinese citizens to arrive in the U.S. after Beijing reversed its COVID policy and started issuing passports again. With China's borders opening, some countries, including the U.S., implemented a requirement for Chinese travelers boarding flights from mainland China, Hong Kong, or Macau to present a negative COVID-19 test taken no more than 2 days earlier. The travel rules imposed by various countries led to pushback from Beijing, even though foreign travelers entering China must also present a negative COVID-19 test.
We call on relevant countries once again to make their measures fact-based, science-based and proportionate. They should not engage in political manipulation. The measures should not be discriminatory.
China's lack of transparency on its COVID-19 data motivated the U.S. to impose a testing requirement.
We need to see a lot more genomic data to get a sense of what viruses are circulating. The other thing that we haven't seen is good real-time data on ICU admissions or hospitalizations. And the reason these things are necessary is that if there is a variant of concern, lack of access to this data delays identification of those variants, and then it leaves our public health officials less prepared to respond to new variants that may arise.
Graduate student Li Hao says testing before flying to Washington is troublesome.
It's sudden. It took about an extra day to do the test, but maybe currently it's necessary.
Once in the U.S., some Chinese visitors say they'll get a COVID-19 vaccine.
I got 3 shots in China, and I'll get another shot in the U.S.
Some of the Chinese travelers say they are not worried about getting sick in the U.S., with the population here being less dense than in China. Elizabeth Lee, VOA News, Washington.